Yeah, guys, for you that missed the introduction, I know I forgot your surname this morning, but I don't know why I have a card. Because it's like there's so much happening in my head. So I've got Shane Titana here, and the reason why I want to speak to Shane is he's doing some amazing work with an NGO here in Paul. It's called the Human Nature Project, and it's just doing like things that like NGOs like really impact, like he's doing impact work. So I wanted to chat about a bit to him, and then also he's also an avid golfer. He said last year he only played 6 matches, so I don't know if that's still an avid golfer for 6 rounds of golf. And he was also busy yesterday at Del Yosef at primary, so somehow he's doing something right because people are just giving him things. So maybe I want to find out what the secret is. Welcome, Shane. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Myles.
What did you do at Del Yosef yesterday? Tell us a bit there.
So yesterday, I went to Del Yosef. I distributed 5 boxes of sanitary pads and school stationaries.
Okay.
You know, as a human nature community project, we are very, very big when it comes to education and looking after children, especially young ladies.
Yeah.
You know, as we know, we are facing a huge pandemic in South Africa with gender-based violence and the women abuse. So you can imagine, as a guy coming from a black community, have to do with sanitary pads. You know, I mean, there's always that stigma when there's a gray area there, you know, when the guys is using sanitary pads. And I'm always like, people know me as the pads guy.
Oh my God.
So I like that name, you know, as it's the pads guy. Oh yeah, there's the pads guy, you know. So yeah, that's what I love about it. That's what I love doing it, you know.
Okay, cool. So not everybody is born wanting to do good deeds, want to have a positive impact in the community. Tell us a bit about the childhood and why we're on this journey.
Man, growing up, my mom used to help everyone, you know.
Cool.
I wouldn't understand at that age, like, why do you give people money? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? You know, and she said to me, like, you know, when you're hungry, when you're very, very hungry, you know, you're in a meeting, you're in your car, you can just go out of your car, get out of the meeting, grab something to eat. But those guys who live in the street, they've got that feeling every single day.
Yeah.
You know how that feels. So that hit me a lot, you know. So I grew up with that, like trying to help other people. So when I was in Abu Dhabi, I was there for 6 years doing golf. So I thought to myself, what do I want to do?
Like you go to Abu Dhabi to do golf for 6 years? How does that work?
No, that's where I started to learn golf.
Oh, but did you work there at least?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I thought like professional golf.
No, I wish. You know, so when I came back to South Africa, I was like, what can I do to make a huge difference in my community? So I went to Desmond Tutu. I went to revamp their toilets.
Okay,
but then the school, yes. Cool. They've got 32 toilets, but then the principal gave me an opportunity to speak to the students, you know, and then first things first, I spoke to the ladies. And then the ladies told me how the menstruation hits them hard, you know, and 80% of them, they live with their grandparents. You know, I was like...
80% of the kids live
with
their
grandparents, yeah.
Why is that?
It's tough. I mean, when you live in a community, like disadvantaged community, you know, sometimes the mothers, like, the thing about why I'm doing this is that as a guys, we would get a lady pregnant, right? And then we run away, do other stuff, get on with our life. But the lady has to stay 9 months. Her life is on hold.
Okay.
You know? So that's why, and then now the kids, they have to go back to school. So some of them, they didn't grow up with their fathers, you know, so they grew up with their mothers and their grandparents. So their grandparents have to split their money. You know, they grant money from
Jeez.
you know, school stuff like food and clothing and this and that and that. So I thought to myself, why don't you do something like sanitary pads? You know, for me, at first, I did it as for likes on Facebook and stuff like that. I think our first donations was 362 sanitary pads.
Jesus.
So we're like, me and my friends, high fives, we're done, check my Facebook, likes. The next day, kids started coming over to my house asking for sanitary pads. Then the next day, and then the next day, and then my mom was like, listen, you have to run with this now.
Nice, man.
You can't let this go. And then that's where it started.
Yeah. Okay, so like your first 362 pads, did you go to a wholesaler and say, I need pads, and they give it to you sponsored? How does it work?
The first one, like the ladies at Pearl Valley, they were very, very instrumental.
All right.
You know, especially formerly the captain, Colette Douglas, and the currently the captain, Marinda Valdek. So I just told them what's happening in our community, and I want to play a huge role. So I took some of the money of my own money, and then I asked people for donations.
Nice.
And then I went to ShopRite and Boxer, obviously, to ask for donations, and they were very happy to help. You know?
Okay, so what are we currently busy with? So of course you have a lot of projects busy, and of course this year you're also going to start a lot of projects as well. What you're currently busy with, and what are you doing for 2020?
For 2022, like I want to cover like the whole base of Paarl.
Nice.
If I can. Like now, like yesterday, I went to Dallas Primary School. I saw Mr. Minnaar, very nice guy, very nice students. The reception I got there was awesome, out of this world. So while I distributed pads, I wanted to check, like I like to check the ladies' toilets.
Yeah.
So my current role now is I can't distribute pads when the toilets are not tidy, you know, when they're clean.
Okay.
So that's going to be neglectful of me.
Okay.
So I have to make sure while I give them sanitary pads, also the toilets are very clean.
Jeez.
That's the whole part of a hygiene.
Yeah. Okay. Because,
you know?
it's the whole process.
Yeah. So that is my thing. And I also want to tackle like gender-based violence. You know, I mean, it's kind of like we live in a country where we say it like it's okay to beat and abuse your woman. You can kill your woman, but don't be racist.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's been cries about women being killed, they've been beaten.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about just the stats and hashtag not in my name.
Yeah.
And you wake up the next day, the stats says 250 women have been killed, but what are we doing?
Yeah, dude, I mean, I think my wife showed me once, there's an Instagram page, and I just refuse to follow it, but she says that page, it highlights or illustrates all the women that murdered, killed, or assaulted. But that page has content every single day here in South Africa. So people that are murdered or killed, there's content on that page every day. And she's like, shows me the evening, like, how is it possible that every single day you have content for GBV?
I mean, I think like we are wasting our state resources. I mean, Myles, you could be found guilty of killing your partner, but still you're going to go to court. You're going to appeal, parole, and stuff like that. If you're found guilty, why don't you just get a life sentence on the spot?
Yeah.
You know, you're guilty and then being isolated in your own prison because you can't live with humans.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that's the thing we also want to tackle as a human nature community project.
Yeah.
You know, because we can't protect the ladies all the time. We also have to educate the kids, you know, the boys.
100%.
You know?
100%.
So that's a major thing in 2022.
Cool, so are you at are you at primary school and high schools?
Primary schools and high schools, but
Okay.
our main focus is primary schools,
Alright.
just to install that with them growing up because, you know, we've got this thing because I grew up in Dal, so I'm not good enough to make it to these places. You know, I'm always going to be suffering, always going to be like that, you know. So we want to change that mentality that wherever you are or wherever you grow in, you can still do something great. You can be still special, you know.
So what keeps you busy during the day? So of course you said how you worked in Dubai. What you do in South Africa except for your NGO?
I work at Paarl Valley as an assistant golf manager.
Okay,
So,
nice.
yeah.
So has golf always been in the blood?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's tough, eh? It's not that easy.
Yeah.
It's tough. Like, what I love about golf is that it teaches you about life. You know, you only got one shot, you know, and you can't just say, sorry, I made a mistake, can I play that shot?
Yeah.
So even if you make a mistake, you have to think carefully and you have to choose your club selective very, very carefully.
Yeah.
So golf, my life, and the project, they all intertwine into one space.
That's so cool. Where is our handicap now currently?
Currently, I'm 9. I used to be handicapped 2.
Wow.
So currently, I'm 9. I wanna.
Gee, so you play often then?
Please, I wish. No, I work more often, you know, but I wanna go more up to 15 and 16.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But I mean, it's fascinating that you say that you only have one shot. I mean, when we spoke to Kyra as well, Kyra said this morning, you practice hours, and you're in the orchestra and you only have one shot because things that happen. But tell me, how does it, what's like the internal feeling when you're doing good? Like, I mean, like last year, I also had a few lessons, like no good deed goes unpunished because I did a few good things and it came to bite me. What's your rate of doing good?
Man, I can't describe it, Myles, to be honest. It's just something out of this world, you know. Just to seeing people's faces light up because of you. I mean, you can't describe that feeling, man. You know, it's just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It's out of this world, to be honest, yeah.
Okay, so what are the big dreams? What is 2022 and what are the big dreams for Shane?
Big dreams for me is to make sure
the
that
handicap of 15. That
it's just to make sure that all the schools are being provided with sanitary pads in
Okay.
Paarl and all the Drakenstein district.
Okay.
That they've got enough sanitary pads and the ladies' toilets are very clean.
Yeah.
And make sure that every school has school stationaries, every learner is like school uniforms,
It's
school
so
fees.
big.
Yeah,
It's so important.
you know.
Okay, so when people provide you with pads, do you get sponsorships by companies or by sponsorships from people that sell pads, or you get money to go buy the pads yourself?
Normally, like companies do help, yes, but mostly it's people. Like at Pearl Valley, the ladies,
All right,
they
cool.
always help.
Okay.
Like I said, Corrie Douglas, Marinde Waldeck,
Yeah.
and Yvette Wishat, and all of them.
Yeah.
They always buy the products. But for guys, I don't want them to give me money. I want them to go to the shop and
Yeah.
buy the product themselves
Yeah.
and bring them to me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's very rare to see a guy like...
Dude, I've been there with a photo in the aisle, and I waited until the aisle's like empty first. I mean, that was like in the beginning stages. It's like, okay, I must take this one, but it's very, it is a weird thing.
It's kind of intimidating,
Yeah.
but it's kind of fun, actually.
Yeah, but now it's like normal.
Yeah, for me, it's a norm for me. It's kind of fun. And people, they look at me weird, like, dude, what are you
Yeah.
doing? I'm like,
Yeah.
it's that time of the month, man, you know? You know?
Okay, Mr. Pad Guy, how do people like get involved? Like, if a company wants to give money, they can. How do they get involved? If a warehouse or a wholesaler wants to give you a box of pads, how do they get involved?
I mean, they can just go through our pages on Facebook. It's Human Nature Community Project, and also on Instagram.
Okay.
And
Wait, what is that?
Human Nature Community
Human
Project.
Nature, okay.
Community Project, yes, and also on Instagram. At the moment, we don't have a website. We're still working on that, but we are fully registered.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe I can help you with a website.
There we go.
I think that's something I can do. Yeah, guys. So Shane Titana, avid golfer, but also known as the pad guy here in Paarl, got big dreams to, supply and provide pads to the broader schools in Paarl. Do you have a list of all the schools in Paarl? Because I've got a list of all the primary schools and high schools.
I don't have all of them, but I would
There's
love
a lot.
if you can.
Yeah, there's a lot.
A lot is nothing.
Yeah.
There's
Okay,
a lot
cool.
we can do
Yeah,
also.
yeah, cool.
You know?
I'm keen to get involved in your
There we
things
go.
too. Yeah, Shane, thanks so much and good luck for
Pleasure, man.
2020. Love what you do.
Thank you, buddy.
All the best with that handicap of 15. Yeah, guys, so Shane Titana, you know how to get hold of him. Human Nature Project.
Community Project,
Instagram, Facebook, website coming soon. And then now we're just going to go over to Jackal and
The bounds.